can't tell you how good it feels to finally be able to powerlift again, to finally be able to hit the weights. Yesterday, I was able to get in a barbell bench session, was able to complete 5x5 at 165. And 165 isn't too terribly heavy for me, though. I'm just glad that my strength didn't slip below that. So next week, I'll be moving up to 175, then 185, 195, so on and so forth, with the 5x5 program in mind. And today, I really wanted to hit some heavy deadlifts. So I went for singles, was able to hit 365 for a single beltless conventional. Tried 375, but it was just a little bit too heavy, though I'm still really happy that I'm able to hit 365 for a single. And thinking through it the last couple days, especially after the calendar club challenge, I really want to put a lot more time at least into my deadlift. For my squat and my bench, I don't really care too much about. Plus, I still want to balance ultra running with all my lifting as well. So the plan moving forward and my goal moving forward is actually to become an international elite deadlifter. And for me to be considered an international elite deadlifter, which is the highest class in terms of powerlifting, it goes international elite, elite, class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll put the weights up here that I have to hit in order to be considered an international deadlifter. In my weight class, which is 132, that's what I would be competing at. I have to pull 477 pounds. And I believe that is raw and I get to use a belt. And my lifetime max, which was actually, I think about 2 or so years ago, my conventional with the belt deadlift was 425, right around this same weight as well, 135. So 477 minus 425, 52 pounds. It really doesn't seem that far. Also, just because when I pulled that 425, I really wasn't very serious about powerlifting. I went consistently. I was going to the gym consistently, but by no means was I on a serious program. Plus, I conventional deadlifted that. If I moved to sumo, the 477 might come a lot sooner, though I'm still kind of debating if I want to pull conventional or sumo, just because for me, I think it's a lot more impressive when someone can pull a heavy conventional. So right now, moving forward, my goal is to become an international elite powerlifter, or to at least be classified as an international elite deadlifter, and at the same time balancing ultra running. And I want to complete this likely by the end of next year. I still have plans to complete a 50 miler and a 100 miler by the end of this year, though realistically for me to move up from 425 to 477, there isn't enough time in the rest of the year. So I will put in work, solid work, to move towards that 477 this year, though I'm not really sure how far I can get, because realistically balancing powerlifting and ultra running, can it be done? I guess we'll figure out. Let's get to some questions. First question comes from Zipman Sports. He asks, are going on runs the only type of training you do for running? Do you do hill work and do you do interval work? So for me, my runs, it's all based on feel, how I feel during that day, during that run. If I feel good, I'll speed it up. If I don't feel that good, I'll slow it down. It's all purely feel. For me, I don't really like doing hills, so I don't do them. I also don't really like doing interval work, so I don't do them. I know that both hills and interval work would be beneficial for my running, though I personally just don't enjoy them, and so I don't do them. In terms of other types of training for my running, I also do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I feel with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's a lot of hip movement, so it really strengthens my hips. And I also do a lot of powerlifting, squat, bench, deadlift, and also pull-ups. Jess asked, do you have cryo near you? Yes, I have a cryotherapy center near me, though I don't go for the same reasons I don't go get massages. Just because for me, in my opinion, I'm not a professional athlete. I just do all of this for fun and as a hobby. And because of that, I really don't see the need to pay for those recovery services. I'd rather just get free recovery services and do it the old-fashioned way with diet, stretching, foam rolling. Call me frugal, but it is what it is. Ryan asks, do you have one pair of running shoes or do you have multiple that you rotate? So I have 2 pairs of shoes that I rotate from. The Nike React Milers, which these are probably over mileage now with 600 miles in them. And I also have the Nike Peg 37s. I usually tend to wear the Nike React Milers when I run, especially during the Counter Club Challenge, just because they fit a little bit better. With the Nike Peg 37s, they still fit fine, but they are a little tight in this forefoot area, but they've gotten better with over time. So usually for me, if I do a shorter run, 3 miles or less, I'll choose the Peg 37s. But if I'm going anything 5-6 miles or longer, I'll choose the Nike React Milers. But now I might have to switch to the Peg 37s for those longer runs as well, just because these ones are likely a little over mileage. And you can tell by the bottom of my shoes. Power Weight Training asks, any plans to rest for a bit, complete rest? For me personally, I am not a fan at all for myself of complete rest, of absolutely doing nothing. I need to do something for the day, whether that is getting in a few pull-ups, whether that is going on a short run. Plus, I have a promise to myself and a goal that I will run at least 1 mile every single day for a year. That started on March 16th. So for the foreseeable future, I'm still going to be running at least 1 mile every single day. Augie Silver Fitness asks, do you know when Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu starts up again? It really depends on the state or county that you live in, if you live in the US. I know a lot of academies have started to open back up to the public, though for me, I haven't gone back just because I see my parents or my girlfriend's parents every few weeks. I would rather be safe than sorry. When I do go back, I will likely just go to someone's house and a small group. I feel a lot safer doing it that way. Intercore Ari asks, is your family supportive of you doing YouTube, your side hustles, and the Counter Club Challenge? So generally speaking, my family is supportive of me doing YouTube, especially now that I'm over 1,000 subscribers. They see me doing this, putting in the work. It's a passion project. Plus, after 1,000, they're like, okay, you might be able to make a little bit of money, and you have 1,000 people following you, so it could be something in the future. In terms of my side hustles, the more money I make, the better. Though, in terms of the Counter Club Challenge, since the Counter Club Challenge is a little bit intense, is a little bit over the top, especially with the amount of miles and the method of how I am running it, I always get remarks, concerns, and I take it as my family cares about me. I don't take it as a slight against me. And they always ask, are you sure this is healthy for you? Are you sure this isn't going to hurt you in 20 or 30 years? And usually I tell them, I'm fine. I know my body pretty well because I know my body pretty well. But though, to be honest with you, I don't know what it's going to do to my body in 20 or 30 years. But for the time being, I'm fine. So I'm going to keep doing these challenges. Brad from My BS Life asks, how many calories are you consuming per day and have you lost any weight during this month? He asked this during my July Counter Club Challenge towards the end of the month. In terms of how many calories I was consuming at the end of the month, I was consuming upwards of 5,000 to 5,500. And during the month, I actually only gained about a pound. Jashim with a 2-part question. Part 1, how do you shift your mindset when you find yourself complaining? For me, it is pretty simple. All I need to think about is if I'm complaining, then I should do something about it. Because if there are actionable steps I can take to fix or to better my current situation that I'm complaining about, then I should do that, because what's the use in complaining, because it really doesn't do anything for me. Part 2 of his question, what are you doing to get your mind and body right? To get my body right, I exercise, I do a lot of powerlifting, I do a lot of running, I do a lot of jiu-jitsu when jiu-jitsu gyms are open. And to get my mind right, there are a few things that I like to do. Number 1, surround myself with the right people. Positivity makes a huge difference. Number 2, you are what you eat, especially in terms of your brain, of the knowledge that you consume. Reading, podcasts. Not only that, but I like to listen to those motivational videos of David Goggins, Gary Vee, Jocko Willink, especially those third-party videos that take their speeches and put cool layovers and cool music behind them. I really like to do that as well. So thanks for watching. Hope you all enjoyed that video. Please give this video a thumbs up. It really helped me out. If you want to catch another one of my videos, there's a video right here. There's a video right here. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel,